Welcome to the Comedy MX Classic Comedy Channel. Classic as in Laurel and Hardy, Our Gang, Buster Keaton, and Charlie Chaplin.
Thank you, boys. Where'll you be when I need you?
Right here.
Okay.
I told you not to make that last payment.
Laugh Out Loud comedy, as in cartoons, TV shows, features galore, or the campy Giant Claw. Chuckle and guffaw the night away as you binge watch CMX Classic Comedies.
That's my little Margie. I've been both mother and father to her since she was born. She's grown up now, and you think my job is all done, eh? Well, that's what you think. When she was little, I could spank her and make her mind me. I had control over her. I made her eat her spinach, no candy before meals. And when she disobeyed, I took her roller skates away for a week. But what can you do when a girl reaches this age? She's completely out of hand. I've got a problem, believe me. I've got a problem.
That's my father. I've raised him from childhood. That is, my childhood. He's nearly 50 now, and you'd think he'd settle down, wouldn't you? Well, that's what you think. Today, he looks better in shorts on a tennis court than fellas 25. Girls wink at him, and what's worse, he winks back at them. I want a nice, old, comfortable father. I try to look after him, but he just won't settle down. I've got a problem, believe me, I've got a problem.
Good night, Charlie. Good luck with your psychology.
Oh, I'm not studying psychology. This book's rated something. The biggest seller of the month. I sure wish you'd read it, Mr. Albright.
You want me to read it? Why? What's it about?
That's why I want you to read it, so you can explain it to me.
Did you have a good time tonight?
Uh-huh.
Well, to coin a hep phrase, it was real George. What a band. How'd you like my getting to play our song?
Our song. Every time you hear our song, we have to dance. And of all the songs in the world, why does ours have to be Tiger Rag?
Because it's like us. It's alive.
It'd be a miracle if we stay that way, dancing to Tiger Rag.
Oh, don't worry about Margie. It's after 3 o'clock in the morning, and she's certainly in bed by now. Good night, darling. Oh, please, darling, no arguing tonight. I'm just too tired.
Out until all hours in the morning. What kind of a father are you?
I refuse to argue tonight.
And you kissed her.
No, you don't miss a thing.
How many times have you kissed her before?
You caught the first show.
Oh, Dad, I'm only thinking of your health.
If kissing were bad for my health, I would have kicked the bucket before I ever got out of grammar school.
Oh, Dad, it isn't just the kissing. It's the late hours. That poor old heart is nearly 50 years old.
In view of the fact that it's been pumping all that time, the least I can do is prove to it that I'm not dead.
You want to make an orphan out of me.
I'm just not going to argue tonight. Nighty-night.
I hope you fall out of bed.
Good night, dear.
Here I am.
I was right. I knew I heard the elevator door.
I gotta get out of here. No, Margie, in spite of the fact that your father dislikes me so much, I don't dislike him. I kind of feel sorry for the old fella. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the same way when I'm looking back on my faded youth.
Well, you can start fading right now and don't bother looking back.
Good night, Margie. Good night, Mr. Albright.
What's the idea of having that drooling droop around here until 3 o'clock in the morning?
Please, dear, no arguing tonight. I'm too tired.
Margie. Now, you
I'm 21, and I can do as I please.
Margie. Listen, darling, don't you understand? I just want to take care of you. Please, it's just that I don't think Freddie's good enough for you.
Well, I'm old enough to choose my own companions.
Well, but listen, darling, when the right boy comes along, I'll know.
Swell. And I hope the two of you will be very happy together.
Oh, darling, don't fight me. Remember, this poor old heart is almost 50.
Good night, darling. I'm just not going to argue tonight. Nighty-night.
Oh, Margie.
Yes?
Whose turn is it?
My turn.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. I apologize. Let's make up.
I accept and agree. You know, honey, sometimes I wish you were 6 years old again.
You do?
Yes, things were a lot different when you were that age.
Yes, I had a lot more control over you then.
I'm serious. You used to listen to me. Take my advice.
Well, I was reasonably sure you were smarter than I when I was 6. You've always been the most wonderful father in the whole world. That's why I worry about you the way I do.
Well, that's why I worry about you. Now, take Freddie.
Well, let's take Roberta.
Well, listen, Margie, Roberta is really very nice.
Well, I say Freddie's the nicest fellow I've...
Go to bed.
Good night.
Every week when I come in here to clean, it's the same story. Why don't you try some of that psychology stuff on your father?
What do you know about psychology?
I used to clean for Professor Winslow.
Who's Professor Winslow?
Who is he? I thought just about everybody had heard about his new book on reverse psychology.
Oh, that one. Yes, I've seen it advertised quite a lot lately.
The best little fixer-upper in the world. Somebody don't like green. You argue with them and they'll die not liking green. But you agree with them, the green's no good, and keep on agreeing with them. First thing you know, you got a fight on your hands. They now love green.
Would it work for purple?
It'd work with your Freddie.
You mean agree with my father about Freddie?
Exactly.
But that's just what he wants me to do.
Of course, but only because you've never done it before. What happens after you agree with him? All of a sudden, the kick's gone. There's nothing for him to fight. So what does he do? Joins the other team, battles on again. Only he's on your team, but he don't know it. Kind of cute, huh? But maybe you're right. Maybe it's not such a good idea.
Oh, it's a perfectly wonderful idea. I'll get a copy today.
Well, I never had it work that fast for me before.
Personally, I say in your case it would stand a good chance of working if properly applied.
Well, you've given me a big sales talk, Mr. Honeywell.
And your boss never makes a mistake. You'll agree with that.
Oh, I'll agree with that even though I won't agree with it, if you know what I mean.
Quite so. Shows good understanding between us. You know, a good relationship.
Imagine my saying that I like Freddie.
The only trouble with that book is it's so popular right now. I'm not sure it'd work on someone who's read it. You'd better act quickly before your daughter gets a hold of it.
Oh, don't worry about that. Unless there's a picture of two people kissing on the cover, Margie won't even open it. Well, it's not going to be easy, my saying that I like Freddie. But if it's the only way that I can get Margie to say she dislikes him... Mr. Honeywell.
Yes?
Mr. Honeywell, I like Freddie. Yes, sir. Fine boy, that Freddie.
Very convincing, all right. Very convincing.
That you, Dad?
Oh, yes, darling.
You're home early. I've got your martini waiting. Dad, what's with the arm? And your shoulder, it's all hunched up.
Well, this is hard to believe, but I ran into a new client today, a lady wrestler, and I had to straighten out my way out.
Knowing you, I almost do believe it. Seriously, Dad, at your age, you could have arthritis or bursitis
A little
or...
cocktailitis is what I'm interested in, okay?
Okay, coming right up. Here you are.
See, Limmer is a 2-year-old, not a kink in it. One whiff of this magic liniment did the trick.
Crazy. I'll put dinner on the table.
Wait.
Hmm?
Sit down. I want to talk to you.
Oh? What about?
Well, it's about Freddie.
Freddie, but that's... I mean, what about him?
Well, I've been doing a lot of serious reading. I mean, thinking about him today.
Me too. And I've decided that...
Just a minute. What I want to say is that I think that maybe I've been a little unkind to Freddie.
Oh, Dad, you're just sorry because you think you've hurt me.
Oh, it's not that at all. I really think I've been very unfair.
Oh, please, stop feeling sorry for me. The truth of the matter is, I've defended him too much.
It's beginning to work already. She's starting to agree with me. Well, why shouldn't you defend him when you know what a fine fellow he really is?
He actually said Freddie's a nice fellow, and I barely started working on him.
It's the way you defended him that's made me see the light.
Dad, stick to your own convictions. I know you wouldn't have said the things you said if they weren't true. I think you summed him up best when you said he's a cross between a drip and a droop.
Oh, I was wrong, Margie. He's not a drip or a droop.
He's the drippiest droop I ever saw. What a jelly-livered excuse for a human male. Why, if he'd had any backbone, he'd have punched you in the nose long ago for some of the things you've said to him.
Ah, but dear, don't bother to make that particular point to Freddie.
You know, I think I'll call him up right now and tell him not to come around anymore.
Oh, don't do that. Call him up and tell him to come over tonight.
Well, if you say so, I will. I'd like to tell him I'm through in person.
Oh, but won't you reconsider?
Dad, my mind's made up.
Well, I guess I've done all I can. I seldom ever win an argument with you. Freddie. Poor kid.
It was so simple, it's almost unbelievable.
I never would have believed she'd fall for it so completely. Hook, line, and sinker. Well, come in, Freddie. Come right in. Come right in. I'm awfully sorry about last night.
You are?
I behaved like a perfect idiot.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir.
Roberta's coming over and we're going to have a party. I'll sit right down, Freddie, and I'll fix you a drink.
Oh, hi, Margie.
Take your hands off me.
What's going on around here tonight? For the first time in my life, your father decides to like me, and now you hate me.
Freddie, let me tell you the amazing story of reverse psychology.
Huh?
Now that we're alone, why don't you... What's going on here tonight?
Darling, it's all because of the most amazing book that was ever published. Reverse Psychology.
Oh, you mean the book the boy in the elevator was reading?
That's the one. And thanks to Professor D.J. Winslow, Margie is through with Freddie.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm happy to say I'm very serious. That's the reason I was so nice to Freddie tonight. I can't help feeling sorry for somebody that's about to get a kick in the teeth. Mighty fine dogs, Mr. Honeywell.
Thanks, all right. I think I'll grab off a few more blue ribbons this year. Say, why don't you come on up to New Haven with me? You just might enjoy that show.
Couldn't possibly. I'm taking Miss Townsend to the theater tonight.
Not many bosses that take no for an answer. Good understanding between us, all right. Good relationship. Ah, Miss Townsend, I was just leaving. Come in, come in.
Thank you, Mr. Honeywell.
Nice of you to drop in, dear. All set for tonight?
That's what I came over to talk to you about. I can't make it.
Huh?
I have to go out of town.
Out of town after I've gone and...
Well, Mr. Matichek's daughter is getting married, and
I don't care if Mr. Matichek is getting married.
Oh, please let me finish. I have to take her wedding gown up to her because it won't be ready until tonight.
You're supposed to be the buyer for the store, not the delivery boy.
Well, Mr. Matichek wants me to sort of see that things go all right. And, darling, you know that when one's boss asks one to do him a special favor, one does it.
All right, if that's all I mean to you, go ahead.
Stop acting like a child.
Stop acting like a child. Every time I get sore, you say I'm acting like a child. Well, this time I'll show you that I'm not acting at all. I'm darn serious. If you go out of town tonight, that's the last you'll see of me.
Goodbye, Vern. Goodbye.
Goodbye. You don't have to pretend. I know you haven't left the room.
Well, you sound awfully happy tonight.
Why shouldn't I be? My father had an argument with Roberta. He says he doesn't think he'll ever see her again.
Mm-hmm.
What's so interesting?
This reverse psychology stuff.
Well, how'd you happen to find it? I thought I had it hidden better than that.
Well, it was a bit painful, but it paid off. It got me in the hip here, but I came up with 2 dimes, a nickel, and an old lifesaver.
You found it there, in that chair?
Yeah.
But I had it hidden over here. Oh, what a stoop I've been. Now I understand about last night. And tonight, too.
What do you mean, and tonight, too?
That business he gave me about breaking up with Roberta. How do you like that? Pulling reverse psychology on me. Just wait till he gets back.
Gets back? Where is he?
I'm not sure now. He said he was going up to New Haven to a dog show with Mr. Honeywell, but he's probably out with Roberta. Come on, let's go. Is he going to hear from me?
Looks like she's going somewhere.
Maybe they did have a fight.
No, I'll carry this, Charlie. No wrinkles for this bride. I have to catch the 8:10 to Greenwich.
Your cab's waiting downstairs, Miss Townsend.
Greenwich! Did you hear that, Freddie? That's where people go to get married.
Sure, they get married and die and everything up there. Oh, look, Margie, I know what you're thinking, but if they'd had a fight, I hardly think they'd be getting married.
But they didn't have a fight, don't you understand? It's just some more of that horrible reverse psychology.
Oh, no. I know that look. Whatever it is, you can count me out. I refuse to go along with any of your wild schemes.
Freddie, honey.
No.
Freddie.
No.
I'm going up in the baggage car to see how my dogs are getting along. I'll meet you in the compartment later.
Fine.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
Roberta!
Darling, you came down to apologize.
Well, actually, I came down to, well, like you said, to apologize.
I'm so glad to see you.
Margie, be reasonable, will you? Your father's with Mr. Honeywell, probably on some other train miles away. This is silly, running up and down like this, looking in window... Uh-oh. Let's get out of here.
No.
All aboard!
I don't know what, but I'm going to do something.
Uh-oh. That look again. Well, the train couldn't be doing over 80. I think I'll play safe and jump off.
But Freddie, honey.
Every time you want something, you say, Freddie, honey.
Freddie.
And you say, Freddie. And then you do that, and I always do this.
Oh, Porter, bring a couple of martinis to compartment 18. Yes, sir.
Let me guess. You're going to Greenwich.
That's right. But it all happened so fast, we didn't have time to get tickets.
I sell more tickets to Greenwich this way.
Roberta!
What's the matter?
You've got to help me. We've got to stop them.
Stop who?
Hurry, they're eloping.
Who's eloping?
Both of them in the next car. I don't know what to do. I'm all mixed up.
You're mixed up. You should be on this end of the conversation. Now, sit down and tell me all about it. Who's eloping in the next car?
Margie and Freddie.
Margie and Freddie? Well, 3 cheers for reverse psychology.
What?
Good for them.
So that's the kind of help I came all the way back here to get. Well, thank you very much. I'll handle this myself.
What's the matter?
This is it. Conductor?
Margie, reconsider.
What is it, miss? What's wrong?
I've been robbed.
Robbed?
My necklace. That man must have stolen it.
What man? What did he look like?
He went that way. He had on a... There he is.
All right, mister. Hand over the jewel.
What are you talking about?
You sure this is a thief?
I never forget a face.
What kind of a joke is this? She's my daughter. Margie, have you lost your mind?
My name is Mary. Mary Jones. Take him away.
Now, wait a minute. Would you mind searching me, please?
Okay.
You see, I don't have any jewels. Well, there's somebody that knows me. Tell him who I am.
Who, me?
Yes, go ahead and tell him.
Oh, I never saw you before in my life.
So you're in on it, too, eh? Well, there's somebody on this train who'll identify me. Hey, come back here.
Catch him! Hey, don't let him get away!
Here he is.
Come on! Don't get excited, fellas. Don't let them upset you. They're only human. All right, don't you hurt my dogs. Don't you hurt my dogs.
All those in favor of no more reverse psychology say you know what.
You know what?
Well, everybody's happy again. Roberta and you, Mr. Honeywell and his dogs, and Freddie and me. Freddie! Where's Freddie?
Will you please believe me, officer? I don't know how they got in my pocket.
Now, that's my little Margie. I've been both mother and father to her since she was born. She's grown up now, and you think my job's all done, eh? Well, that's what you think. When she was little, I could spank her and make her mind me. I had control over her. I made her eat her spinach, no candy before meals. And when she disobeyed, I took her roller skates away for a week. But what can you do when a girl reaches this age? She's completely out of hand. I've got a problem, believe me. I've got a problem.
That's my father. I've raised him from childhood. That is, my childhood. He's nearly 50 now, and you'd think he'd settle down, wouldn't you? Well, that's what you think. Today, he looks better in shorts on a tennis court than fellas 25. Girls wink at him, and what's worse, he winks back at them. I want a nice, old, comfortable father. I try to look after him, but he just won't settle down. I've got a problem, believe me, I've got a problem.
Charlie, I'll be right with you. Yes. We may as well say goodnight here. There's no use asking for trouble.
All right. You'll have to kiss me like that more often.
Oh, excuse me.
Hey, wait for me.
Well, looks like you're stuck for another good night kiss. Come on, walk me to the door.
What about your father?
Oh, we'll be quiet.
You know, every time your father approaches me, I automatically fondle my Blue Cross card.
Oh, he's all talk. He wouldn't hurt you.
All talk? You mean like last night when he talked a 3-inch rip down the back of my tweed jacket?
Well, considering it was nearly 2 a.m., a 3-inch rip isn't bad.
No, it was a nice little rip for 2 a.m. Sometime I'll have to try one of his 5 a.m. specials. They go all the way down the jacket, one trouser leg, and in good weather you can watch your argyle separate in a brilliant spectacle of color.
Oh, Freddie, stop talking and kiss me goodnight again.
And nothing like a good night kiss.
Come on in.
Yeah, but your father.
Oh, didn't I tell you he's out for the evening?
He's out? Well, why didn't you tell me?
Well, it's like you said, Freddie. There's nothing like a good night kiss. When a fella's sure it's his last kiss, he puts everything he's got into it. And the way I've worked it, we've already had 2 last kisses and still have 1 to go. Come on, I'll whip us up a snack.
Are you positive about your father? It's nearly midnight.
Will you stop worrying? Dad won't be home before 3 or 4, maybe later.
Where'd he go?
He took Roberta to the opening of the new Angio Piazza show.
Oh, hey, but that's over by now. No show runs this late. Look, I better be going.
Don't be silly. I said he took Roberta. You know what that means. They won't be in till all hours. I've got to do something about her.
I thought you liked Roberta.
Sure, I like her for anybody but Dad. Every time he takes her out, he thinks he has to do the town like some college boy. He's too old to be out dancing half the night. He ought to be home in bed.
He'd look kind of silly dancing in bed.
Freddie, it isn't a joke to me. Dad's nearly 50, but reminding him of it only makes him more stubborn. I wish Roberta would fall for somebody else.
Well, you could always toss some handsome guy her way. Get her married off.
You may think that's funny, but I've seriously considered it. Trouble is, Roberta's so darn picky. She wouldn't go for just anybody. It'd have to be somebody really special to beat Dad's time.
I wonder how Piazza's new show is.
Oh, he's always great.
Yeah, terrific guy.
You like him? I thought most men hated him because they're envious of his good looks.
You want to know something?
What?
If Piazza ever saw you, he'd envy me.
Just for that, I'll give you a choice. Cheese on rye or cheese on white?
How about a slice of both, huh?
What's that for?
Just in case.
Freddie, will you relax? I told you Dad won't be home for hours.
I'm sorry, but I just don't agree with you. Just a second, we'll let Charlie give us his opinion.
But, Vern, it's such a silly thing to argue about. Darling, it's not that important.
Of course it isn't, but it won't hurt to prove that I'm right. Now, Charlie, give me your honest opinion. What do you think of Angio Piazza? You've seen him, haven't you?
Not on the stage, but I caught him in a couple of television shows.
Okay, now tell me what you think of him. Don't let me influence you, but just say what you think. I'll be very surprised if a man of your intelligence doesn't agree 1,000% that Piazza's a stuffy, sticky ham and not too handsome either.
Gee, Mr. Albright, I'd like to go along with you, but I think the guy's got something. Why, if I had a face like his, and all the girls would be swooning over me.
All right, Charles, all right.
You're not mad at me, are you, sir?
You're entitled to your own opinion.
But you didn't say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You're coming in for nightcap, aren't you?
Well, from your general attitude, I thought you'd cancel the invitation.
Oh, Roberta, dear, let's not be childish. Let's forget about the whole thing, okay?
Okay.
I'll get some more milk.
Guess who?
Give me a hint.
Sit down, dear. I'll get some ice.
Still can't guess. Give me another clue. I think I'm getting warm.
I'll give you a real clue. Margie, where are your hands?
I'm here. Why?
I think we have company.
Guess who?
I was just about to leave, Mr. Albright.
Now, Dad, take it easy. Think of your health.
Think of my health.
Leave me alone with Freddie just a minute, dear.
Oh, but Dad.
Don't worry. There won't be any trouble.
All right.
Relax, Freddie. I just want to ask you a simple question.
Sure, Mr. Albright.
Now, here's the deal. I know how Margie feels about a certain party, so I'm not going to bother asking her. But you see, Miss Townsend and I had a slight disagreement tonight, and although I don't mind losing an argument once in a while, I do like to feel that there's somebody on my side. Do you follow me?
Not at all, but whatever it is, sir, I'm on your side.
Good, good. You know, somehow I don't recall coming in here and seeing you kissing Margie.
Swell. Now, what's the lie you want me to tell?
Well, Roberta and I saw a play tonight.
And then he became so infuriated, we left the Copa without even dancing once.
Just because the waiter said he liked Angio Piazza?
Oh, don't. That name is poison to your father, as of right now. But he'll get over it.
Roberta, my dear.
Yes, Vern.
About Angio Piazza.
Oh, Vern, no more tonight, please.
But, dear, I thought it'd be kind of nice to hear what Freddie has to say.
No, Freddie, don't say anything.
Why not? I'm entitled to an opinion.
Go home, Freddie. Go now. Don't say a word.
Margie, please. What do you say, Freddie? What do you think of Angio Piazza?
I think he's a bum. Strictly a no-talent bum. Kind of goony, too.
Well, Roberta, dear.
Vern Albright, I've had just about all of this that I can stand for one evening. I've seen you in childish moods before, but never quite so ridiculous. I like Angio Piazza, and I plan to keep right on liking him. I think he's perfectly charming and extremely handsome. We can't all have an Angio Piazza, but we can dream. Put that under your pillow and sleep on it. Good night.
Wait, Roberta. You and your big mouth.
But, Mr. Albright...
Go home. And don't come back.
Freddie?
Margie, this place confuses me. It confuses me.
Oh, I'm sorry. But listen, remember what we were talking about marrying Roberta off?
Margie, you're getting that look in your eye. Good night.
Oh, Freddie, wait. You heard her yourself. She's crazy about Angio Piazza.
Margie, look, you've done some of the craziest things I've ever heard of, but if you think you can get to the biggest star of the season, honey, it's impossible.
Well, there must be some way, Freddie. Think of something.
Oh, stop dreaming, baby. There isn't a chance. Well, the guy doesn't even answer his telephone unless it's Morton Warnock or some big producer like that calling.
Morton Warnock?
You're getting that look again.
It just might work.
Margie, the elevator's coming. Kiss me good night.
I'm sure it'll work.
Good night, Margie.
Yes, that's right. May I speak with him, please?
Mr. Morton Warnock's secretary, Mr. Piazza. He's the producer, sir.
Oh, who cares about him? He's a lady young and beautiful.
Oh, she sounds young.
Then she must be beautiful. I shall insist upon it. Angio Piazza speaking.
Mr. Piazza, Mr. Warnock is giving a little cocktail party today at 5, and he'd like very much to have you come.
I won't be able to stay very long, but I shall be delighted to drop in. She's a vision.
Yes?
Angio Piazza's secretary.
Angio Piazza's secretary. Put her on. Hello?
Mr. Warnock, Mr. Piazza is giving a little cocktail party today at 5, and he'd like very much to have you come.
Margie, are you serious? How did you ever manage to get him to...
Oh, he's very charming. He accepted without question.
Oh, well, naturally I'd like to meet him. That little disagreement we had last night wouldn't be anything compared to what your father would...
Oh, don't worry about that. Dad won't be home until late tonight. Just come and enjoy yourself. Oh, and if you want to, bring some other girls along.
All right, Margie, I will. Bye.
Yeah? Oh, sure. You invited him just for Roberta. What? Well, I think you invited him for yourself.
What's the matter with you? I thought you liked him.
I like him fine up on the stage, but not around you. Who's a jealous stoop? Well, okay, goodbye.
Now, Dad, what'll I do about him?
Yes. My daughter? Oh, sure, put her on. Hi, dear, what's up? Mr. Horton? Well, why did he call there?
He said he couldn't reach you at your office. You know how long-distance calls are sometimes. Anyway, he wants you to meet him at...
Client or no client, this is ridiculous. What plane will he be on? You don't know? Well, there's the 6:10 plane, the 8:30 plane, the 10:30 plane. All right, I'll meet all three of them. Thanks, honey.
Piazza.
So if you'd let me borrow your maid for a couple of hours, I'd really appreciate it, Miss Odetts.
Do you think I could get a peek at him, Margie?
Certainly. You can join the party.
You've got yourself a maid.
Oh, thanks a million, Miss Odetts. Send her over right away.
Excellent cocktail.
Let me get you another.
Thank you. I can't understand why our host hasn't spoken to me yet. A bit unusual, don't you think?
Host?
Yes, Angio Piazza. Who invited you, Miss Townsend?
Oh, Mr. Piazza, of course.
Have you met the host yet?
Host? You mean hostess, don't you?
Morton Barnock.
Miss Townsend. At least that's who invited me.
Oh, excuse me a moment.
Of course.
Shall we sit down? Mr. Warnock. Oh, Mr. Piazza. Delightful party. A charming friend of yours I was just chatting with.
She's my friend?
Well, of course, you have so many lady friends.
I don't seem to recall the face, but the ankle looks slightly familiar, however.
Delightful party, and I want to thank you for the...
Mr. Warnock, you should not thank me. I should thank you. After all, you're the one who...
Your drink, Mr. Warnock.
Thank you.
Suppose we ask the young lady. Should the guest thank the host or the host thank the guest?
Well, I say I should thank you.
Ridiculous, Warnock. I should thank you.
Such charming, gracious gentlemen. Suppose we give you both your way. Together now, say thanks.
Splendid.
How ingenious.
Together.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal Mr. Piazza. Mr. Warnock, do you mind?
No, but I'd much rather if you'd steal Mr. Warnock. But you go right ahead.
Shall we go out on the balcony? I want to talk to... I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Who's the young lady?
Why, don't you know her?
No, who is she?
I don't know.
Excuse me, miss. I'm an old friend of Mr. Piazza's. He said it would be all right if I dropped by. That all right with you, miss? Jones is the name. Sam Jones, an old-timer in the theatrical business.
Freddie Wilson, go home.
Well, if you really invited that guy for Roberta, why should I go home?
All right. But don't you dare mess things up for me. I've got to get him alone and sell him on Roberta. Go on in. I'll see who this is. Miss Odetts!
Where is he?
In the living room.
Huh.
I'll introduce you. Mr. Warnock, Mr. Piazza, may I present Miss Odetts?
How do you do?
Angio Piazza.
Come on,
Oh, there we are. Now maybe we can get that fresh air.
Good.
Oh, hi, Roberta.
Freddie.
Yeah.
You say you want to talk to me about a woman. You have chosen my favorite subject.
Well, this woman, she thinks you're wonderful.
Thank you so much. Tell me more about this woman.
Well, she's very mature, very warm, and just the right age. Mellow, possessing an understanding one acquires only with experience.
I think I understand what you mean. One that you know can't cook, but you don't care.
Oh, but she can cook. Oh, please, Mr. Piazza, you've just got
Please
to...
call me Angio.
All right. Angio.
Now, what is your name?
Margie. Margie Albright.
Margie. To say that I'm intrigued is putting it mildly.
Suppose you come to my apartment tomorrow night at 6 for dinner. We discuss the matter more thoroughly.
You want me to come to your apartment?
The Sky Tower Arms, apartment 1200.
Well, all right. But I was hoping you'd want to do something about it right now.
Tomorrow at 6. I promise I shan't disappoint you then.
Me.
Where have you been?
What are you, a joker? I've been down to that darn airport and I've met every flying contraption that's ever been built.
Oh, yes, the airport.
Mr. Horton never showed up. Client or no client, I don't care how big a client he is. I'm going to call him right now and tell him off.
It wasn't Mr. Horton's fault. It was my fault.
Your fault?
He called back right after I called you. He said to tell you he'd changed his plans. He wasn't going to come.
He said to. And why didn't you call me?
I forgot.
You forgot. You forgot. And I've been waiting out there all this time, and you just forgot.
I think I'll go to bed before you get angry.
Get angry? What do you think I am now?
Dad, there's something else I want you to know. Everything I do is for your own good. I'd do anything to see you happy.
Like not calling and letting me go to the airport?
Well, even that was a big favor, only you don't realize it at the moment. I'd even lie if I thought it was for your own good. Remember that, just in case you find out that I maybe told a little fib somewhere along the line.
Oh, I get it. Your conscience is bothering you, eh? Margie, I demand to know what you're talking about.
I've said all I'm going to say.
Margie, come back here. Margie.
I'm past 21 and you can't boss me around.
As far as I'm concerned, you're still a child.
I'm not a child.
You're a child, you're going to do as I say. Now tell me
I'm
what...
not a child.
I know you're 21, but to me, you're still a little girl.
Little girl, huh? I suppose you think a little girl could have a date with a man like Angio Piazza.
Stop being ridiculous.
Ridiculous, huh? Well, get this. This little immature girl, this little ungrown-up child is having dinner with Angio Piazza at his apartment tomorrow night.
A date with Angio Piazza. Could it be possible?
Oh, Mr. Albright, I was just bursting with pride.
I'm looking for Margie. I just came home from the office and I
Dear
can't...
little thing was probably so excited she forgot to tell you. She left just a few minutes ago.
Left? For where?
For Mr. Piazza's apartment.
Angio Piazza?
Yes. Goodness, you miss everything. He was in your apartment yesterday afternoon.
What? Did she say where he lived?
I believe Margie said the Sky Tower Arms. You should at least telephone. It's very annoying to have unexpected guests drop in on you for dinner. Oh, don't you know, she has a date with Angio Piazza.
Yeah, I knew about that date, but I didn't think Margie'd go through with it.
Oh, I do hope Mr. Piazza has some extra canned goods on hand.
The boy will be here with dinner in a moment.
Oh, fine.
White, soft, and lovely as the pale winter moon, yet warm and fragrant as a tropical night.
That's awful corny, but it knocks me out. I'm a right-handed smoker. May I?
Oh, yes, of course, my dear. You know, I've been thinking quite a bit about that lovely lady you spoke of last evening.
Yes?
I'm sure that she and I could get along together splendidly.
Oh, but I've hardly told you anything about her.
You like me my way?
Your way?
I originated it. I will show you. Now, suppose we try without the cigarette.
But how could we without cigarettes?
Why do you push me away, Margie, dear?
Why did you kiss me?
Well, why not stop all this nonsense and admit with a kiss, with your heart and soul, that you are the woman?
What woman?
The woman who's crazy about me.
Holy mackerel.
Hey, fella, loan me your jacket and let me take that card in and I'll give you $10.
I'm way ahead of you.
Mr. Albright.
Yes, and I don't need any help. I'll handle this.
You've got to believe me, Mr. Piazza.
Angio.
I didn't mean me.
Margie, I understand you are timid. That is why you didn't come out and say it was you from the start. Our dinner. A few glasses of champagne, some food, you will not be so shy.
I know something else I won't be. I won't be here because I'm
Oh,
leaving.
you're acting like a little girl.
Little girl. You ought to be ashamed of yourself luring me up here. Goodbye.
Margie. Margie, dear.
Angie, oh, darling.
Unchangeable as a woman.
Hold me.
Till the end of time, till the well runs dry.
Till the waiter leaves.
Oh, Margie, as you say, you knock me out. All right, boy, you may serve. Margie, I'm going to say something to you I have never said to any other girl.
What is it, Angio?
I think I could really fall for you.
And you've never said that to any other girl.
If I'm lying, may there never be another sunrise.
It's going to be a long night tonight.
Did anyone speak to you?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. No offense, sir.
You know, I could spend the rest of my life here with you.
May I have your autograph, Mr. Piazza?
You're getting on my nerves, you know that?
Just wanted your autograph. You could put it on my cuff. I'll be the envy of the commissary.
Later, please. Later! You have lovely teeth, so white.
Say, speaking of teeth, look at mine. People ask me why they're so white, but you see, it's only an effect. I have a dark mouth.
Say some more of those lovely things to me, Angie, dear.
Margie, words fail to express my feeling for you. Let this be my messenger. Get out of here. I'll serve dinner myself.
I'm sorry, sir. Union rules. I brought in the wagon. I got to serve.
Doesn't the union have rules about your making a nuisance of yourself?
Yes, sir. That's why when I serve, nobody even knows I'm around.
Serve the champagne!
Yes, sir. That's what I'm doing.
May I propose a toast to the most charming young lady I have ever met?
This is milk.
Why did you serve the young lady milk?
I'm not getting into any trouble serving minors. How do I know she's 21? Have you got a license or something?
Get out of my apartment.
I rang, but I guess nobody heard me. I'm here to fix the phone.
Margie, I'm sorry for all these interruptions. I'll get rid of these people. Just a moment.
Don't touch me.
Margie, just a moment ago you...
I'm leaving.
Margie, dear.
Vern Albright, what are you doing here?
I don't have to do any guessing as to why you're here.
Well, I have a perfectly good reason for being here, but I don't have to explain it to you.
Well, the question is, what am I doing here?
I'm taking my daughter home.
Your daughter?
And my girlfriend.
Get out of my apartment, all of you.
You can't push my father.
Oh! Being as you were having so much company, Mr. Piazza, I thought it would be nice if I stopped at the store and brought you some groceries.
I'm sorry I made such a fool of myself when I saw you there.
Well, I suppose it did look suspicious. But how were you to know that I was there for the same reason as you and Freddie?
We have our little differences, all of us, but we do stick together.
I'm glad you didn't really go for that character.
He kissed my hand.
Which one?
This one.
Go wash it.